Good afternoon, Squire.
Welcome, sir. Welcome.
Welcome once again to The Realisation. This one is about voting.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
We are approaching 2019 elections.
Snap elections, unexpected elections.
All right. And so the conversations that we're having in our lives with friends and family is about, does the voting system work? Is it rigged? Who are you voting for? Is it worthwhile? How does voting work? Are we voting for the lesser of two evils? Should we start our own political party? Loads and loads and loads of things. So today we want to drill down and figure out, first of all, how does the UK voting system work? For those who don't know it, to break it down in the most simplest way. And also, if the voting system actually is official, like a ref with a whistle, or if it's rigged. That's what we want to get to. We want to explore the age demographic of voting, because there's a big push towards young people voting.
Yep.
We want to see if race plays a part, culture plays a part, class plays a part. We want to discuss it all. So with that being said, can we start off by explaining the UK voting system, how it works?
Okay. So let's do that in some, just again, really basic, because we're not going to spend any serious time on this. So in terms of how we vote over here, we have a parliamentary system, okay? So it's representative based. So what it is, there are, I think, 600 and something seats across the UK. So across England, Ireland, Northern Ireland, Scotland and Wales, yeah? So those 650 seats are up for grabs by members of any of the political parties. So what happens in each constituency, in each region, the people vote. We have a first past the post winning system, so the people will vote. The MP that's elected.
So I'm going to stop you just to get real clarification for the viewers. So when you say constituency, what do you mean?
Okay, this is where it gets a bit hazy. So constituencies are boundaries that are drawn. To be honest with you, I don't know exactly how.
Not like a borough. It could be a borough, it could not be a borough.
It could be across a borough, but a borough could again be split into multiple constituencies.
Oh, I see.
So it does, yeah, it varies. In fact, boroughs are, I think, always, yes, they are. They're going to be split into different constituencies, depending on how the lines are drawn. How the lines were originally drawn, couldn't tell you. That's something to research. And whether or not they're ever changed concurrently, I don't know. I suspect they are, but I actually don't know. This is, a poor way to start. But again, the question that we're dealing with here is beyond this. This is just a basic overview. So for each of these constituency, whatever constituency you're in, you vote for your MP or Member of Parliament. Yeah? Now that can be a representative from any given party that's on the ballot. Whichever party has the largest number of MPs elected, yeah, so the party that has the majority gets to sit in as our current government, basically, and then the second largest then becomes a shadow government. So you have people in the, say you've got Chancellor of the Exchequer, you've got Shadow Chancellor of the Exchequer on the other side.
So it's not a case of the majority constituencies that vote for whatever, let's say Labour, for example, and then the second runner-up would be Conservative. It wouldn't be then a face-off over them. It wouldn't work like that. It's like, no, it's already decided by the adding up of the constituencies.
Absolutely. How many MPs won the seats in the various constituencies? Absolutely.
So I can tell you off the bat, a lot of people don't understand it works like that. They believe that there's the situation you're talking about happens, then there's another stage where the winner of the majority and the runner-up now go into a battle, into a final. And that final is another voting system where they would have a vote for one of the two who's at the top.
Right, gotcha.
So some people understand it that way. So basically, that doesn't work. Take that stage out. It's literally depending on your area, and then there's something about strategic voting as well.
Yes.
So is it a good time to talk about it now?
It certainly can be. Well, yeah, because that's not to do with the majority question. So yeah, we can talk about that. So I mean, there's loads of different ways to do strategic voting. It depends on your system. And the system that we have, I don't know. You'd have to say something along the lines of, okay, I want to vote for, let's say I want to vote for the Green Party, yeah? But I feel like the Green Party have no chance of getting in, right? So then my next option would then say be Labour. but I feel like Labour does have a chance of getting in. I don't want them to get in. I'm thinking off the top of my head here. Maybe I would do something along the lines of saying, okay, well, if there is a third party, let's say Lib Dems, who I think if they get enough votes, like they're not going to win, but if they get enough votes, they're going to cause us to have a situation where no one has a clear majority. And maybe the Lib Dems have already said, okay, well, they would partner up with the Green Party under a certain circumstance. To
That happened, didn't it?
It's happened, on a couple of occasions. So to get a large enough majority that they then form what we call a coalition government,
Right.
where they run things in conjunction with each other. So maybe I would strategically say, okay, I'm not going to give my vote to the Greens. It's going to be a wasted vote in that sense. But the Lib Dems, plus what the Greens are going to get anyway, I think they're likely to form a coalition. If the Lib Dems get enough to put the whole thing in contention, I'll vote for them.
I see. That's very clear. Thank you. All right, so let's get into it.
Let's do it.
So let's talk about stigma. All right, we're of a certain age, both of us. I don't know about you, but in my circles, there still is a stigma about voting.
Right.
And voting doesn't work, it's rigged. And so when questions are asked to challenge, how do you know it's rigged? Some of the responses are not based on research. What say you?
I say that that's a real unfortunate situation. It's something I definitely recognise. Definitely people in my circle feel exactly the same way. Some people, in my circle feel exactly the same way. I would say that's definitely an issue, because at the end of the day, if you're in a situation where you're going to say, all right, it's all rigged, it's all nonsensical, I'm not going to get involved. Here's the deal. There are decisions that are going to be made by whatever the ruling party is, or dominant party is, that will affect you. Not everything will necessarily affect all aspects of your life, but there will be some decisions that are made which will absolutely have an effect on you. And if you had no part in the voting process, it's really, really hard then to argue that you have any kind of rational leg to stand on, really.
Right.
If you made no kind of incursion, if you didn't even so much as look in to different policies from different existing parties and say, is there something worth supporting?
Right, absolutely.
How do you feel about it?
Well, the claim is that once you put your ballot in the box, per se, and it's counted, there's nobody watching people count the thing and know like watching every single part of the system and how the votes go until we get the final decision. So that's what they would say. It says we don't know. At some point we hand over trust, blind trust to them. So where they say that, is there anything we could refute that with?
Okay, so if I'd have thought of that beforehand, I would have looked more into how exactly that aspect of the system works. Being honest, I don't know enough about how the vote counting system in the UK works. I know a little bit about the American one, just because American politics is quite interesting in that way and affects the world in a very direct way. So I tend to have quite an eye on the minutiae of that.
You say that American politics is Hollywoodized and is entertainment.
God, to be honest, all politics is way into the Hollywood standard.
True.
But the Americans definitely make it more entertaining because they're just way more flamboyant and stupid. Like, being honest, when I say that, what I mean is that not the American people, but American politics, American politicians.
This is Raw Conversations, just in case you didn't know.
Let's back up that statement. You have to understand, we're in a situation where there's a Republican politician. I can't remember who it was, because it wasn't that relevant until this statement got made, for me anyway, who stood up, all right, in the House of Representatives, I believe. Was it in the Senate or in Congress? I can't remember. But he stood up during a hearing commission that was around global warming, and measures that can be taken to mitigate it. Now, he's a Republican. Republicans tend to be on the side that says there's no consensus. Global warming isn't confirmed, Whereas the rest of the world agrees that 97% of climate scientists agree that global warming is real and man-made. That's the most important part, Because some would claim, well, there have been, different ice ages and heat periods, whatever. Point is, the consensus is in real life. There's a Republican politician who stood up and with a snowball in his hand and said, "What is this? It's a snowball. I got it from outside on my way in. Therefore, global warming can't be real."
In case we have forgotten, because we keep hearing that 2014 has been the warmest year on record, I asked the chair, you know what this is? It's a snowball. And that's just from outside here. So it's very, very cold out, very unseasonal. So here, Mr. President, catch this.
That happened! That actually happened, I swear, perpendicular on my life. Yeah? You have an orange monkey at the moment in charge of American politics.
This is real conversation.
Very, very real.
The gloves are off.
There is nothing to hide. We have no standards behind which we're going to hide. None of that stuff. We're going to be very real with you people. There's an orange monkey running things over there right now who lies at every opportunity. There was several people, lie checked him in the last couple of years, and he's well up into the tens of thousands, I think, of lies already since he's been in. Like, as in, we're talking about things which can be easily verified, right? And we're not even going to go into it because it's just too embarrassing. It's too whatever. This is a guy who is openly racist, right? Less so nowadays in terms of being open about it, but every policy position he's ever backed, his attitudes towards the Central Park Five, even after they were vindicated, his well-known father's record and how he treated his tenants, because he was like a slum landlord essentially, how he treated his tenants, and he would take young stupid Donald along with him to learn how the business worked. And we've got statements of how he worked in terms of like black people forget about it, that kind of thing. This is a guy with loads and loads and loads and loads of issues. He is the POTUS. He is the President of the United States. He is a reality TV star. He is a failed businessman whose every single business has failed. You want to talk about Trump Airlines, you want to talk about Trump Steaks, you want to talk about Trump University, for which he's just recently gone down in court and had to pay restitution, I think for the second time. The Trump casinos. The guy had a casino in Vegas. You cannot lose money with a casino in Vegas. It's just impossible. The house always wins. There's a reason that statement is real. Who's the first one to come along and fail? Dun, 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 dun. It's the POTUS. Anyway, enough. We're not here to demean American politics. I didn't mean to get onto this. That was a side track. Okay? American people are people, just like everyone all over the rest of the world. Intelligent, dumb, and everything in between. American politicians, except for a relatively small few, incredibly corrupt. Supported and run, very much their work is very much about supporting their donors. And the donors are big business. There's a reason why, if you go back statistically over the last sort of 10, 15, 20 years, you can look at every major issue that's come up. Something like 86% of the time, the vote has gone in the favor of donors as opposed to the consensus of the voting population, which is to say, when they take a poll and the population says, 70% of the population say we want this. Let's say, for example, we don't want private prisons because of this reason. Private prisons still exist. We want cannabis to be legalized. Anyway, whole other story. I forget even how we got down this road. What was the original question? Hi, you're watching a clip from a longer episode of The Real Versation. If you enjoyed it, please like and don't forget to share so you can bring your friends in on the conversation. Also, don't forget to check out the full-length episodes at our channel on YouTube and get involved in the dialogue by commenting down below or by tweeting us at Real Versation. Hope I'll see you guys soon. Peace out.